Hey guys, welcome back. DeFi, Degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty. I'm your host, Drip Coach, dropping knowledge bombs on all Forex Shark related projects. And in today's video, answering a question that got popped up in my comments quite a few times about what do the multipliers actually mean? Can you explain the multipliers? There was another one here. Please explain the multipliers. What do multipliers mean? So clearly I failed you guys because I put this out and not many of you understand or are familiar with farms and the multiplier and how that actually works. So that's what I'm going to explain to you in this video. So got to give you a little background. So basically on the Binance Smart Chain, it is a blockchain. So hopefully you know that much, that blockchains is basically a way to put data on a public ledger, and then the blocks get written, and then they're locked in place, adding to the previous blocks, and therefore it gets harder and harder to attack the blockchain because you have to overwrite all the old data basically. Now on the Binance Smart Chain, blocks are written about every 3 seconds. So every 3 seconds, data is compiled, and then that's added to a block, and then that's done all day, every day, and that's what the validators do on the Binance Smart Chain. So when we look at that, you get Binance Smart Chain, it achieves about 3 seconds per block with their proof of stake consensus algorithm, and that equates to about 28,501 blocks per day. So you can actually look at the blockchain history, and it'll tell you what they've done every single day. So it varies fractions of a second every block because it all depends on the validation and stuff like that, but that's about the average. Now, why that is relevant is because on farms, emissions are paid out. Emissions being the farm native token are paid out based on blocks. So you can allocate, for example, 10 dogs to be emitted or created every block, right? So if you look at Cake's tokenomics, they actually have here about 40 Cake tokens per block. Thought you could see that easier. There we go. So 40 Cake per block. That's what they do. And then they show you how they break it up. So a portion of that is burned, and then these are allocated. But they're doing 40 Cake per block as of August 11th. I don't know what the emissions are for the animal farm dogs and pigs, nor can we actually concretely figure that out because remember, it is a dynamic control supply algorithm. So it will change based on the demand of the asset. But what we can do is what I did is put it into a spreadsheet. So if we look at the Binance blocks, that's this here. This is what's going on. 1 block every 3 seconds. If you go out to that evenly, that's 28,800 per day. And if you were to multiply the Cake emissions, they would be making 1.1 million per day. So remember, that's just 40 Cake per block and then the number of blocks. So we can use that to try to come up with an idea to understand where the multiples work. So I have this shortcut here so you understand that. So multipliers work in this fashion. For each payout, let's say animal farm dogs, we add up all the multipliers for the pools and farms that emit animal farm dogs. So what does that mean? That means we come over here to the animal farm and we look at any of the pools. This is Wrap BNB, it has Forex, USD, Forex. These are the multipliers. So all the ones for dogs, we take those for both the farms and pools and we add them up. And if you come over to the farms, there is dogs for the Drip USD, which is 8x, and then 4x, yada, yada, yada. You get the point, right? So you have to add up all these farms. That's step one. So add up all the farms. In my example, let's say it adds up to 100 per day. In the real example, it actually adds up to 98, and there's a total of 22 pools. So there's a total of 98 multiplier or emission rewards, or however you want to word that, for each of the, for adding up all the pools. So that's what I did here. Pools and farms. So I listed them here. Then I took the number that was there on the multiplier. That's what I just showed you guys. It's right here in the corner. And then I just simply made a formula to add all that up. Sum of B3 through B19, G3, G7, right? So that's all these. That's where that comes from. So that's 98. So now that you know what that is, we can move on to the next step. So in my example, I say animal farm dogs emits a total of 100 per day. Just nice, easy number. Well, remember, we don't know what the actual emission rate is, but we do know that the Cake token does about this much per day. because it says so in the tokenomics. Just showed you that guy as well, right? That's right here, 40 cake per block, and we know that the Binance Smart Chain makes 28,500 blocks per day. That's the most recent, and that's because they're doing 3 blocks per second, right? So I hope you guys are following along so far. So that's where this comes from. So what I decided to do, because I don't know what it is, but I just wanted simple math, I just decided to say we're doing 10 dogs per block. Really simple. That's where I get this number. So all I did was multiply this, the Binance blocks per day, times 10. Then we get 288,000. So that's what I'm saying. We are giving away or minting for dog emissions daily. We don't know if that's right, but that makes it easy for this example. Just a quick message. Please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss another video. This helps bring brand awareness to the channel as well as all Forex Shark related projects. Thank you. So that's step 2 right here. And then so all the multipliers add up to 10. In our example, all the multipliers add up to 98. But just for simple math, I'm giving you this example of 10. So we have the formula here. The pool we want to go into has a multiple of 2x. So this would be picking whichever one you want. So for example, drip BUSD. So the formula would be take the total number of dogs that are emitted per day. So in our example, it's going to be 288,000. Then we're going to divide that by the total emission multipliers. That's 98. Then we're going to multiply that by the actual multiplier of the farm. Remember, that's this number here, which comes from this corner number on each of the farms and pools. So again, the formula looks like this. So I used absolute values, so it'd be easier for me to drag and drop to cell. But basically, I'm taking the total emissions divided by the multiplier, total number of multipliers, right? 98. Then I'm multiplying it by this cell. And I did that for every single cell. So this says roughly there will be 23,510 dogs allocated to the drip BUSD farm per day. Again, take that number with a grain of salt because I'm using a fixed number of 10, but you can at least understand now how these multipliers are affected. So the multiplier is basically telling you how many dogs are going to be allocated per day to a specific pool. So the multiplier will stay fixed, but the emission rate, be it 10 per day, 20 per day, 40, 50, 100, whatever, will change. And the next part you really want to know, which we cannot do because we don't have any value in there, but you want to know what your share is. You would then say if you were putting in $100 and there was a total of 10,000 in the pool that you were investing into, that would mean you have 1% of the pool. So to find out what you're getting paid per day, you would take 20 divided by 10,000, because remember the 20 was the animal farm dogs allocation that we had for that pool, and divided by 10,000 times 100 just to get that total number, or 20 times 0.01 because you know you have 1% of the pool. So either way, you'll get that, but there's no way for me to figure that out right now because we don't have values on any of these pools. I did just remember when I said that I can't figure out that there are some values on the old website, but since I don't have any money allocated to that, it makes it very hard to figure out. But again, using that example, if you put in $100 here or whatever the case may be, then you can take that percentage of the pool. We'll do simple math. If you put in $1,000, you would have 10% of the pool. And then if the dogs WBNB, let's look at that. Dogs WBNB, that's not the same one. Was it Rat BNB BUSD? See, I don't even remember trying to do this on the fly. Yeah, let's go to a different one because I don't have dogs because that's a pig farm. Let's go to, that's a pig farm as well. Let's go here, Forex. All right, let's go to this one. So perfect, we'll round that up to $100,000. So let's say you put in $1,000, that means you have 1% of this pool, and this is a Forex pool. So you would have basically 1% of this allocation per day. So if we just say equals this times 0.01, you could be getting 117 dogs per day. That's the quick and easy way. But again, that's going to depend on what you have allocated towards that pool and the total percentage. And then the APRs change based on what is added in totality to that pool. So you get a higher APR based on usually lower liquidity being staked or added. I won't go into great details on the APR. We'll wait until that is put out on the actual site. But hopefully that gives you guys a little more understanding on how the multipliers work. I hope I broke it down well enough for you to digest. If not, you know, drop me a comment. I do read every single one of the comments and reply to them, and that's what helps me. That helps me create new content to basically try to provide value for you guys. And in this video, we are very, very close to our 3,000 subscribers. We're sitting at 2,993. I will be putting this video or scheduling it later, so maybe by the time you watch this, I may have hit that milestone. And if I did, appreciate every single one of you. And if I haven't, you know, please like and subscribe so that I can hit it, so that I can bring you more knowledge bombs on Forex related projects, because that is my goal in this. So that is the farm and pool multipliers explained as simply as possible. You know the drill. Hit that HBO special, help a brother out, and like and subscribe. Live daily and achieve your impossible. See you guys.